Hi, you guys. It is Thursday, and that means we are going thrifting. Today, I am going to take you to two different thrift stores. We're going to see if we can find any furniture, of course. The last couple of weeks, I have been very lucky. I have found some very nice quality pieces at great prices, brought a few of them home. So we'll see what we can find this week. I'm also always looking for home decor, staging, and any other items that just might be a good deal. So come along with me. Let's do some thrifting. Here is our first stop. I've taken you guys here before. I'm just going to check out the housewares first. I thought this thing was cute and interesting, maybe for bookshelf styling or staging for $2.50, but I didn't need it, so I passed on that. And on the shelf right above this, you guys, were all of these mannequin heads. I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting to see. I also saw these two bases. This first one was $2. The second one, you guys, I picked it up and it was so heavy that I almost dropped it. I think it said $2, but inside there were like a ton of rocks or something. I don't know. Maybe they should remove those. That could be dangerous. There was this little like tin set. I don't know, maybe it was for camping or something. Really cheap, but I thought it was cute. I do always check out the linens. They did happen to be half price today, but I didn't see anything that caught my eye or that I needed this time. Do you guys check out the books when you go thrifting? I bet a lot of you do. My kids are both avid readers and they love going to thrift stores for books. I swear my son could look and look for hours. But one of the things that I wanted to show you guys too is that you can find books for staging or styling. If you see a hardcover book that has a jacket that you don't like, just take the jacket off and see if you like the actual book color itself. And you can always turn it so that the pages face outward, and then you can stack them on each other. I would have liked to give you a better example, but I didn't want to dig through all the books. Ideally, I would have found ones that were different sizes, but just to give you an idea, it's a cheap styling tip. Then I found these vintage washboards. They were $20 each, which is not a bad price, especially when I looked up some comparisons online. I saw a few that were going for over $100. There was also this tall basket. You could put some greens or florals in. That was $4.50. I thought these were super cute. I loved the little frames. When I turned it around, I realized they were little plates. I just thought they were very sweet. I think they were $3 each. Checking out some more prints and artwork and frames, I always suggest that you check these out. I loved this little mirror. I really thought about getting it because it was only $1.52. I thought it would be super cute in staging and styling, but I passed. Honestly, I don't know why. That was so cheap and really, really cute. I thought this was pretty cute too, especially if you like that shabby chic or distressed look, and it was only $3. I thought this mirror was really cute too. I liked the size and I liked the curvy detail. It was $5.05. I also thought about getting that, but you guys, I can't buy stuff on every thrifting trip because I just already have way too much. But definitely check out the mirrors at your thrift store. This basket was also very cute, only $2. Again, I don't have a need for it right now. And here's some more mirrors. This one was huge and only $5.05. It was very, very heavy. You could lean that up against the wall and it would also almost be like a full-length mirror. There was this globe on a stand for $10. I thought it was cute, but I don't know, $10 was a little bit too much for me. And again, I don't have a need. On to some furniture, you guys. This was very cute and very small. It was almost like child sized and only $18. It was like a vintage secretary and it was adorable. It would be so fun to paint and give it a makeover. So this is an antique piano stool. I've actually recently just painted one of these for a client. It turned out so cute. But did you see that price tag? $200. It may be worth it. I don't know, but I thought it was too much for a thrift store and way too much for me. There was this vintage bed that was absolutely beautiful. I don't work on beds and I'm not in the market for purchasing one, but the details on this were absolutely beautiful. And I love that they had it set up so that you could see it. Usually you just see the headboard or the footboard, but this was the whole thing. And it was, I think, $200 or $250. Back to the baskets, you guys know I always check that out. This one was a large and it was only $3. This would be absolutely perfect for a tray, like on your coffee table, or also hanging on a wall, like in a basket gallery wall. It was so cute, only $3. And like I said, it was big. Now moving on to the chairs. This one was really pretty. Vintage tiger oak, $9. I don't paint chairs anymore. I really don't, or refinish them or anything like that, but I do use them often in my staging, and this one would be really good for that. Last up at this thrift store is this dining set for $75. I don't do dining sets either, but I loved the base of this one. The legs were really beautiful, and there were, I believe, 3 leaves. So it would be a big table if you were in the market for that. And it came with these chairs. Some were in better condition than others, but I thought they were pretty. Okay, let's head to our next stop. You guys, I did not know what I was getting into when I went to this thrift store. It was my first time there, and you saw that the sign said dig and save. At this thrift store, there are basically bins filled with clothes and items, and they charge by the pound. I was not interested in digging through the bins, but I did spy some furniture, so I thought I would check that out. As you can see, the prices are pretty good. This is a set. It's an Art Deco waterfall style tall boy and low boy for $40 and $30. And the prices are good, but you can see they are in rough condition. The drawers were all kind of wonky and they needed a lot of work. I just was not interested in these. There were a few more pieces. This is a bookshelf for $35. It's a nice large size, but not a piece that I'm interested in refinishing. Some more dressers here. This first one was $45. I believe it was laminate. Not the best quality. Not interested in that. This one was a little better quality, at least. I believe it was maple. It was $45 and in decent condition. I think this would be fun to paint. It would be easy to paint, a good beginner project for sure. There were lots and lots of chairs, and look at everybody digging through the bins, you guys. My son was with me and he thought that they might be resellers. And I guess that makes sense because if you're buying by the pound, you can get a lot of things for very little money. And if you are a reseller, maybe you can make some money on that. But again, the thought of digging through bins kind of caused me some stress. And the way that everybody was just like frantically digging and grabbing and throwing things in their cart, oh, not for me. I have to stick to furniture. I did see some wooden chairs, including this bent wood rocker, a very, very cool piece. I have seen other people refinish or paint these. They turn out amazing. This was only $15. It's just not a project that I'm interested in taking on. It was really, really nice though. More and more chairs. I tell you guys all the time that chairs are not fun to paint. They're pretty tedious, but they are good practice. There were a few more dressers back in this area. This is a nice mid-century modern blondie for $45. That's a good price, and I did like the dresser. I thought it had really cool hardware. It was in pretty good shape. I didn't get this one. I'm pretty full right now as far as inventory, but I do think $45 is a good price for a piece like this. There were also some random end tables. This is also another good beginner project. This one is $15. If you're ever wanting to get started or to practice, maybe try a new paint color or technique, this would be a great piece to do that on. Here is an outdated set of end tables or nightstands. They were $10 each. They were very, very short. The hardware was broken or missing on the first one. And yeah, just not super high quality, not something that I'm interested in. They were very unique though. Lots and lots of detail. They could be fun to paint, or they could be good candidates for a make under. You could even add some legs maybe. Here's an idea of what the bins look like. Again, we didn't even go near the clothes. It was way too crazy. But there were bins of just random things. And I think that what this is like items from other thrift stores, other St. Vinny's that maybe haven't sold, and they come to these dig and save outlets. And instead of like organizing them by category or on shelves, they just kind of throw everything in the bins. And then you dig around, find what you want, and you pay by the pound. You guys, I love thrifting, but this type of thrifting is just not for me. I just did not like the experience at all. I am not a digger. I know some people love doing that kind of thing, but I quickly realized that this wasn't my jam at all. My son was with me. He loves thrifting too. He loves buying thrifted clothes, and he was also a little bit intimidated by digging through the bins. I didn't find anything here that I was interested in. I'm glad I came and, gave it a look and, just to like see what it was all about, but I don't think I'll be going back there anytime soon. I definitely get the concept of this. It makes it easy, and that's why it's cheap, but it's just chaos. It made me feel like stressed out. It was just too much to handle, too much stuff to look at, too much stuff to dig through. Okay, you guys, that last thrift store was just not for me. I don't shop for clothes that often while I'm out thrifting anyway, so I'm not interested in digging through bins. My kids do love to thrift shop for clothes, but even my son, he didn't feel like digging through clothes. I don't know. I just didn't want to. I'm sure you could get good deals that way because they do sell by the pound. So you could get a lot of items for really cheap. And certainly you saw many people, digging through the bins. And like I said, I'm sure there are deals to be had, but just not for me. There was some furniture there that was priced good. The quality of the pieces wasn't super great, and there was nothing that I felt like I needed to have. So I passed on everything at that thrift store today. Don't think I'll be going back there anytime soon. But I did promise my son some lunch, so we're gonna head there now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here.